Hello, and welcome to Hope Kids 2. Today we're going to do a TCD brief protocol review on the DWL machine. After you have powered on your machine, selected your QL software, and put in your patient's information, you'll select Start New Recording. Once you select Start New Recording, you're going to review the parameters at the top ribbon. You're going to want to start with the right MCA, depth at 50, gain at 38, sample volume at 6, power at 420, and filter at 50. After you review your parameters, you'll put an adequate amount of gel on the probe. When you put the probe down on the patient's head, you're going to want to put it at a slight angle. Typically in front of the ear and at a slight angle towards the eyebrows. You're going to want to find a nice strong signal. Ideally, you're going to search around, angling your probe to find your highest mean. When you have found your highest mean and your nice strong signal, you're going to take your depth down as superficially as you can while maintaining an optimal image. To decrease your depth, you're going to hit the button 1 on your remote, and you're going to watch your depth change. You're going to rotate your probe to maintain a nice image as you decrease your depth. I am constantly tweaking the probe and angling. And I can see in the M mode that this is the most superficial depth that I'm going to get an optimal signal on my MCA. So here I'm going to start my saves. To save, you're going to hit the floppy disk on the remote. First, you'll make sure you have a nice optimal signal. Then you'll hit save. You'll want to increase your depth by 2 by selecting the number 2 button on the remote 1 time. Then you're going to want to save an image again, as you are constantly moving your probe and watching your mean velocity. I've increased my depth to 42. I'm going to hit save. 44. Save. 46. Save. 48. Save. 50. Save. 52. Save. 54. Save. 56. Save. 58. Save. We can see we're getting near the MCA-ACA bifurcation. The ACA is coming in below the baseline, and you can see it in blue here in the M mode. We're going to increase our depth to 60. And get an MCA-ACA bifurcation. We're going to save that picture. And from here, we're going to get the distal ICA. To change our label, we'll hit the hand freeze button on the remote, select distal ICA, We're going to want to increase our depth, preferably at least by 4 millimeters. So you'll hit button 2 times. As you start angling inferiorly, watching the ACA, the blue, vanish on M mode and below the baseline. What you will want to do is angle inferiorly towards the chin and then come up slightly in what's called the J maneuver. When you have an optimal distal ICA, you will save a picture, and then you're going to want to go back to your highest mean velocity. To see what your highest mean velocity was, you'll find the red box around your highest mean, and you'll select that. You'll see at a depth of 58, you have the highest mean of 85. So you'll go back to the depth of 58 and aim for a high mean of 85. This green buffer at the bottom takes 30 seconds to get halfway across the screen, and it takes 1 minute for it to get to the end of the screen. So I found a nice strong signal. I'm going to hold my probe on that signal. I have matched my mean. I'm going to have a recording of 30 seconds to 1 minute, and I will hit the print key on the remote. That saves the prior 1 minute of data. Once that is completed, you have finished one side. You'll need to do the same on the left, and then repeat a duplicate exam from the right and the left again before the exam is finalized. That is it for this exam. Thank you for watching, and thank you again for being a part of Hope Kids 2.